my beautiful friends, thanks for joining me again. Hope everyone is having a wonderful day. A while ago, one of my viewers requested that I make some chowmein. Sorry I took so long, but here we are today making some delicious Masrassi Guyanese style chowmein. So please stick around and let's do it together. We're making some goat meat chowmein. I have some boneless goat meat I washed with vinegar and salt and cut into smaller pieces. And I'm getting 2 pots going, one to pre-cook the goat meat and one to boil the chowmein noodles. I'm adding some cooking oil to hot for the meat. To boil the noodles, I have some water in the pot. I'm adding 1 cinnamon stick and some cloves. If you're not a huge fan of chewing on cloves, you don't have to add it. Or you can count how many you're adding, and once the noodles is finished cooking, you can take them out. And I'm adding some cooking oil. And by now the oil to cook the meat should be hot. I'm adding some fresh garlic and some garam masala to infuse the oil. This is the kind of chow mein my parents would serve the day after the wedding or on the Kangan day. Give it a quick stir and we can add the meat. Goat meat has a strong taste, so the garlic and the spices in the garam masala will tone it down well. Next, I'm adding some salt, some ground black pepper, and some of my homemade casareep. If you guys haven't seen my recipe on how to make this casareep yet, I will link the description in the box. Please check it out. Give it a good stir. You want to make sure the meat is well coated with the spices and casareep. When I went to buy this goat meat, I asked the butcher if I can have some boneless goat meat. He looked at me and said, "Why are you scared of bones? Only old tiger is scared of bones." So I looked at him and I said, "Well, you're talking to an old tiger here." He looked at me and he laughed and he said, "Well, you got me there, lady." And I'm gonna add some roughly chopped onions, some fresh thyme sprigs, and I'm gonna cover the pot and let it cook with its own juices. We may need to add some water, but we'll do that later. Once the meat is finished cooked with its juices, if it's not tender enough, you wanna add some water. You wanna make sure that it's fully cooked and tender before you take it off, because once it's finished cooking here, it's not getting a chance to cook again. I added some water. I'm gonna cover the pot and let it cook some more. And for the noodles, the water is boiling, so I'm gonna add the noodles. I'm using some Guyanese brand chowmein noodles. You can pick this up at any Guyanese or West Indian store. And if you don't like the noodles long, you can break it up when you're putting it in the pot. And I'm adding a small amount of salt. If the noodles are sticking together, you can use a fork and help separate them. Now we can cover the pot and let it cook. The cook time can vary depending on the kind of noodles you're using. You may want to follow the instructions on the package, but you also want to keep checking on it because you don't want it to overcook. When you can easily break it with your fingers and it's not sticking to it, then it's ready. I'm going to turn the stove off and strain it. I'll add a little bit of cold water. This will stop the cooking process and it will also help get rid of some starch. After straining it, you want to spread it out in a pan. This will help loosen it. The noodles are usually bland. I'm adding some butter, some soy sauce, and some casareep. This will add a nice flavor and color. The meat should be ready. You want to stop the cooking with a little bit of sauce. This sauce will add a nice flavor to the chowmein. This is how this usually goes down in my house. Whenever I'm cooking goat meat, I have to take out my dog's portion first before adding any hot peppers. He can seriously sense the difference from goat and chicken. If I cook goat and give him chicken, he is not eating that day. My stomach is making some noise. I have to get this pot going. I'll quickly show you the vegetables and seasoning I'm using. I cut up some scallions. I'm going to use the white and the green separately. And I have some green chilies and some red hot peppers. Again, I'm going to use some fresh thyme, 1 carrot, and some red onions. And I have some bora, also called long green beans. I cut into longer pieces. And I have some poi leaves, also called malabar leaves. I will cut this up also. We don't need to stir fry the carrot. I'll shred it over the noodles before I start stir frying the other vegetables. I'm adding some vegetable oil to the wok. You want to have your stove on high heat. This is going to happen really fast. Don't change the channel. I'm adding some fresh garlic. I'll give it a quick stir, add the bora and let it cook for a minute. Then in goes the red onions, fresh thyme, red hot chilies, green chilies, and the meat. A pinch of sugar to balance out the heat and a little bit of water to add some moisture. We don't like dry chow mein. Add the noodles, the poi leaves and toss it up. You can serve this as is or with some vegetables. I would recommend some shredded raw cabbage, and leftovers can be stored in the refrigerator for at least 3 to 4 days. Garnish with some scallions and there you have it, some exotic Masrassi Guyanese style chow mein. Thanks for cooking this chow mein with me today. I hope you had some fun. Please help me grow my channel by leaving a thumbs up, sharing my link and subscribing to my channel if you didn't yet. Also, please follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I will greatly appreciate it. Stay safe. See you next time. Love you guys.